Hello everybody, welcome back to Return to Ivalice. What is this, part 3 now? Yeah, I think it is. Sorry about no video on Wednesday. I got really busy, but we're continuing now. Let's talk to Lena. Genomus remains deep in slumber, but his breathing is steady and his fever has subsided. For now, all we can do is wait. I have sent word to Sid. I hope you didn't mind. No, it's fine. You should tell Sid. Ooh, we got a nice cutscene. Reminds me of Final Fantasy XII with all those airship shots, you know. Alma, Ramza, can you ever forgive me? And you, Sid, it was never my intention to put you to such trouble. I'm ever in your debt. You who would have done the same for me, Genomus. Besides, it was Talem here who went to all the trouble. If anyone deserves your thanks, it's him. That's true, I did that. I saved you. I rated Rabanastre. It was very easy. He's right. I've done naught to deserve your kindness, yet I am its beneficiary, nonetheless. That's true. Man, so many quiet moments in this storyline. I never really noticed them before. So, if I understand correctly, you're saying Orosite does not work to facilitate the possession of a living host by an icon, as was assumed to be the case with Yazael and the Archbishop. That's something from Heavensward. But rather absorbs the host's ether, its very soul, and somehow transforms it before returning to its host's body. If that is the case, our Charlian allies will need to be informed immediately. But I suppose the real question here is, did you find what you came looking for? The legend would have us believe that Delita Hyrule, the commoner who would be king, was the sole hero of the Zodiac Brave story. But as I have discovered, there was another. 2 others, in fact. Siblings, whose roles faded from subsequent retellings of the story. A brother and sister by the names of Ramza and Alma. Then, to prepare for this assignment, I pored over every published work on Ivalician legend I could lay my hands on, and nowhere did I find any mention of these siblings. But I did. I uncovered irrefutable evidence that Delita had a close companion named Ramza, who aided him in his rise to power. This in turn led me to Alma, and that I might never lose sight of the truth, I named my own children after these lost players. I'm stumbling over my words today. I'm sorry I never told you any of this, Sid, but you must believe me. Ivalice has never been a mere pastime of mine. It is and forever will be my calling, my purpose, my family's purpose. Go on. The world knows me as Genomus Sen Lexentale, yet that is but my stage name. My true name is Arslan Durai. Countless generations past, it was my ancestor who penned the Durai Papers, an account of Ivalice and the War of the Lions that details what truly occurred during that turbulent era. You are tired, Father. Rest. I will continue. Long ago, an orphan by the name of Oren Durai crossed paths with both Ramza and Delita. After Delita's rise to power, Oren found himself in the service of the Pulp or become king. Following the War of the Lions, Oren believed that the people of Ivalice had a right to know the truth of Ramza's involvement and set about documenting his deeds. When the church learned of his intent, however, they branded him heretic and had him burned at the stake. The Durai Papers were never published, and any existing copies were gathered and sealed away in church vaults, the truth about Ivalice along with them. What was so damning that it would drive the church to do such a thing? Oh, we got a voice-acted cough. Wow. The answer to that question can be found in this book, the only surviving transcript of my ancestors' chronicle, copied from an early draft and passed down for untold generations. Why do you have it still? I mean, I would think that your dad would have it. With this, my father and I plan to reveal the truth and restore honor to my family name. Forbidden Chronicles? A secret family legacy? Not that I doubt you, Genomus, but how do you expect to convince people of all this when well nigh every soul in the realm believes Ivalice to be nothing but a bedtime story? By proving that it is anything but. And when people see that Ivalice was real, the rest will fall into place. Were it as simple as bringing forth the chronicle and submitting it for review, we would of course have done so long ago, but alas, it is not. The Durai papers, you see, are written in High Evolution, an ancient tongue long extinct. My father, his father, and his father before him labored tirelessly to decipher this tome, but for want of other sources made only fitful progress. A word here, a phrase there. It wasn't until a recent expedition to Rabanastre turned up several well-preserved artifacts that we were able to translate a small portion of the papers. Then the diary stolen by the Banca bounty hunters? I am afraid so. Everything we had learned of the language was contained in those pages. Then we're back to where we started. Not necessarily. We still have the transcript, as well as some few translated passages, and of course, my father's impeccable memory. I have come too far to allow so simple a setback to deter me from my purpose. I will show the world the truth if it is the last thing I do. It is as Master Garland said. He is a man obsessed, and I fear Ivalice's grip on him will grow only tighter. Are they talking about me? Because I love Ivalice, man. Father was fortunate to escape Rabanastre with his life, and already he speaks of continuing his quest. Promise me you'll keep him safe. Please. Alright. Let's continue. Give me 1 second. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. Mango was plucking his fur, and there's not really much I can do about it. I just gave him a little bit of a brushing. I think it's because he's shedding his winter coat, too, so, you know, it's springtime now. It's getting warmer. Anyway, Lena, let's continue. After what I've seen here, I'm all but convinced that Ivalice exists, at least in some form. The problem will be gathering sufficient evidence to convince the thousands of scholars and historians who have based their careers on the presumption that it doesn't. Not that I've ever been one to shy from a challenge, especially when it means a story of the century. If you're in Talem, then I'm in. And if you're not, well, I'm still in. Either way, you'll be hearing from me again soon. That much I promise you. Alright, we did the quest, and I think that is gonna be not all we have for this. I was about to end the video, but we're only like, what, 12 minutes in? Not even, because I took like 3 minutes to start. Let's continue. Let's talk. I don't think we're gonna get to the second raid today, but we'll at least get to, maybe we'll get up to it, and then we'll leave doing the raid for the next video. We'll see. Talem, where in the world have you been? I've been right here. It's because like when these patches release, like it's technically been, I want to say like 6 months between the last quest and this one in real world time. Oh, I tell you, that cat. I'm just trying to save his skin, man. He keeps trying to pluck it. I've taken him to so many vets, and one of my best friends is a vet, and even she doesn't know. And I've taken him to like the vet and like another vet, and they know it's allergies, but we could never figure out what the allergy was. We tried chicken food, we tried chicken-free food, we tried everything. It doesn't matter. He's okay. He's chilling. All right. Principal Lexentil's research into the Orsate may have finally borne fruit. All right. We must hurry to the Prima Vista before they embark on some grand and perilous adventure without us. Don't worry, they won't, because they can't do shit without me. Let's go back up into the airship landing. And let's see. Okay, just checking the time, too. It's been such a busy day, guys. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm so scatterbrained today. If you would follow me to the shuttle, good sir. Oh, yes, let's board the Prima Vista. Which, by the way, Prima Vista is a reference to Final Fantasy XIV. Interesting that they combined it here. Talem, Lady Marilla. Thank you for answering my summons. Master Garland was kind enough to send for an Archon from Charlian, and I thought it was only right that you be present to hear her findings. To be frank, summoning Makoto is more Y'shtola's idea. I simply came along to see what light she could shed on this mystery. I am Makoto of House Jinba, a dolmen, though my years in Charlian have made me a stranger here. You must be Talem Splash, fabled liberator of men, slayer of false gods, warrior of light. I thought you'd be taller. I'm still taller than you, though. I'll say that much. It'd be funny if I'm a Lalafell, because she would say that. I think she still says the same thing no matter what you are, you know? Alright, yeah, set down that gem. I love Makoto. She's such a cool character. It's a shame we don't see her that often. We haven't seen her since Shadowbringers. Let us speak of the crystal. Alright, well, let's speak of the crystal. The Otius, one of but many Aurosite shards that aided noble Delita's rise to regent. My apologies. The Otius is no ordinary crystal, even discounting its obvious historical importance. The specimen is more than a simple manifestation of elementally aspected energies. It is, rather, an ethereal lodestone which facilitation of both the absorption and transmission of distinct frequency NRR-type harmonic vibrations has been observed to promote ethereal amplification. The resultant neuroharmonic disturbance allows for a highly unique emittance of CPRS waves that, instead of radiating outward with a determinate factor of dispersal, instead resonate inward at a frequency so labored. My estimates place the rate of VRT decay at upwards of several centuries. Though I must admit I lack sufficient variates to complete a truly comprehensive graphical assessment. While that explanation may elicit admiring nods from your professors at the Academy, it will earn you only blank looks here. Take a deep breath and try again, this time in a language those of us without the echo might comprehend. My apologies, I merely thought... Apologies will see us no nearer to an answer. A simpler explanation will. Right, simpler. Ether is not only the building block of all things material, but those immaterial as well. Thoughts, memories, feelings, one's very will are all understood to be ethereal phenomena, and can be measured as such. Unlike most crystals, which can only emit elemental energies, Aurosite is tuned not only to absorb ether, but ether specific to the immaterial. That ether is then stored and multiplied within its crystalline confines until external stimuli precipitate release. Try again. They're really dragging this out. Under appropriate conditions, a strong will or desire can become imprinted upon the Aurosite and stored until fomentation, at which time the desire becomes manifest. Fomentation? Dude, I get it. Like, it's not hard to understand. They're so dumb. What my studious young friend is trying to say is that the Otius takes one's deepest fantasies and makes them reality. Ah, yes. That is simpler. You may choose to think of it as a process akin to that of summoning a primal. There being one marked difference. Primal summoning requires a supplemental energy source, such as a horde of elementally charged crystals. Aurosite, on the other hand, has the capacity to serve as its own source of power. It's kind of like Nethicite in Final Fantasy XII as well. Which, again, is very similar to a Zodiac Stone, honestly. They might, honestly, in real Ivalice, they could all be kind of connected. I would not be surprised if the Zodiac Stones are just Nethicite. Even, because there's got to be more than just the Sun Crest, right? I don't know. Anyway, we know from the Durai papers that Argath was never king of Ivalice. He was slain in battle during the War of the Lions. Yet the Argath encountered during the recent expedition carried himself as if he had been crowned regent. I believe this was merely the Orosite in his possession realizing his desire to rule. I am informed that he uttered the same words over and over again for the duration of the confrontation which unfolded. If that is the case, it is possible that that was not actually Argath who uttered them, but the Orosite itself. If the Durai papers are accurate, Argath was a weak and petty noble who believed that his blood entitled him to power. The Orosite took that belief and twisted it into the abomination Talem put to the sword. Then you are saying the crystal could prove a threat? The Orosite, Alma. And not necessarily. Ramza seemed to fare well enough. There is no record of the young regent being manipulated by the artifacts he gathered. In the hands of the just, the Orosite should prove harmless, even beneficial. As we saw with Rafa and Marek, right? In Tactics. To paraphrase, it is not the weapon that kills, but the one who wields it. Now, where have I heard that before? Oh yes, it was Emperor Galvus's justification for taking the marvels of Magitech and applying them to the manufacture of arms. Where, after all, was the harm if it allowed him to bring order to the three great continents? You draw an intriguing parallel, Master Garland. The properties of these crystals are so singular, I do begin to wonder if they, like Magitech, are products of science and not nature. But they were created by someone to... But who? What manner of person would even be capable of such a feat? Now that is an interesting question, the answer to which I look forward to hearing. Regrettably, I have more pressing matters to attend to elsewhere. Fear not, however, Mikoto's insight will prove far more beneficial than anything I might accidentally contribute. Good day to you all. Alright, see ya, Sid. He just comes here to drop off people, and then he's out. First he dropped off me, and then he dropped off... Well, I guess he met me here, but it's because of him that we were summoned here to begin with. What I don't understand is... if the Duma was imprinted with Argath's deepest desires, then whose desires are rattling about inside the Otius? I had the self-same question, and thus conducted a thorough inspection of the crystal upon my arrival. The results were inconclusive. Traces of ethereal activity were present, but to all intents and purposes, the vessel was empty. Empty? But what of the voices I heard? Voices? I heard nothing of the sort. The only voices you heard, Alma, were in your stubborn head. Ramza, why won't you... Shall we speak of voices, then? What of yours, Alma, our resident voice of dissent? You have done naught but question the wisdom of our research from the moment we left Garlemald. Would you put your petty worries above our family's calling? No, I would never. You would never? Then why involve a gossip monger, a goody two-shoes, and this flying mole? Please tell me you can see that. Yeah, we can see it. That's a Moogle. Unfortunately, it's not the Evolution Moogle, but it do be a Moogle. Okay, we'll do one more cutscene, and then we'll call it the video. Because I know I don't want to make it too long. The last video was way too long for my liking, so. Am I interrupting? Oh, I can't voice a Moogle. Oh my god. Oh, I'll try. Oh, please do go on. My acceptance into your fine troops ranks can wait until I have said... God, I'm already fucking up. Can wait until all have said their piece, Kupo. Guards, get this... Montblanc. The name is Montblanc. Denizen of Damascus deserts. Seeker of thrills, adventure extraordinaire. But you may call me Montblanc, Kupo. Dalmasca has long been known as a melting pot for myriad creatures, where minor races such as the Sikh, the Banga, and the Vieira might live in relative harmony with the Hur, Elizan, and the others. Yet there is no record of a prominent Mughal population. Most likely because we are neither prominent nor populous. My people are nomadic by nature, ever drawn to the elusive frontier and the freedom she promises, Kupo. Mughal? Of course I'm a Mughal, Kupo. You'd think the adorable wings and the fluffy palm would have given it away. Now, about my admission to the Majestic, I will allow no such thing. The Majestic is the Empire's premier theater company. We will not sully its good name by granting refuge to a fluttering ball of fur. And furthermore, how in the world did this abomination board the Prima Vista in the first place? Aw, you made him sad. Montblanc is cool, man. Ramza is... He's so cranky. He needs a friend. I don't know. By means of his wings, were I to guess. As for his admission to our company, I do not seem to recall race, creed, or allegiance on my list of prerequisites. Do you? No, Father. Very well then. Montblanc, what is it exactly that calls you to the stage? Our stage. What else? The Zodiac Brave story, Kupo. Never before have I witnessed something so amazing, so moving. Sitting, well, technically hovering there in the audience as the story unfolded around me, I knew I was witnessing something special. Something positively transcendental, Kupo. It was then that I realized I either had to be a part of it, or go to my grave, a bitter and broken Mughal. Was this realization before or after you swore simply had to become the realm's greatest marauder, Kupo? I'm fucking up this voicing so much today. Oh my gosh. Oh, I hear Mango out there crying too. It's okay, he got kicked out. Hurdy? How did you... Oh, I can't keep him kicked out though. Oh, I need to let him back in very soon. I gotta hold him. I love him too much. I have a second Mughal. Perhaps you'd have more success at running away if you didn't reveal your grand designs to every other fool you happened to meet, Kupo. Was it not but 20 nights ago that you took up the axe, Kupo? Now here you are professing your passion for the stage before carving even a single notch in your haft? Do you not remember, to he who churns the butter goes the sweetest bread? But how is one to savor said buttered bread if his head is in the belly of a fearsome beast? You accuse me of giving up when I merely came to the realization that continuing would end in failure. Only through a change of course could I realize my final destination, Kupo. And that destination is what? Mummer? Are you sure it is not Geomancer? Arithmetician? Templar? Do not bother answering, Kupo. We all know you'll be singing a different tune come cockcrow. That is where you are mistaken, Hurdy. I was destined to be a thespian. I can feel it in my fur. The role of Delita was made for me. Made for me, Kupo. Kupo, enough! The actors in our company trained at the Empire's finest institutes. They represent the pinnacle of the profession not only in Garlemald, but across the entire world. A vagrant bat mole like you could never hope to share a stage with such artists, let alone play the part of a hero like Delita. You yourself admitted you were too craven to face a solitary beast. How do you imagine you would fare against a pack of theater critics? Any troop would need proof of valor before it could even consider... Craven! Call me a cheat and call me a cur, but do not, sir, call me a craven. I accept your challenge. Slay but one foul beast by mine own hand, and the Majestic Theatre Company will accept me into its ranks, Kupo. Wait, I issued no such. You are all here witnesses, Coupeau. When I return with the head of a terrible beast in my gore-stained hands, you will be bound to welcome me, honor-bound to welcome me even, Montblanc the Mummer, into the fabled ranks of the majestic... Good day. I love Montblanc, man. Wonderful. What do we do now? What do? We do nothing. If that Batmole with it wishes to throw himself on the horns of a stampeding Zoe, I will not stand in his way. I believe the proper term of oh my god, Mikoto, I can't do it. Derogation is Mobat, and I should warn you, Mughals do not take kindly to those who use it. Why must you always put yourself above others, brother? Did you learn nothing from Argath's wretched example? Montblanc would never have set off on this fool's errand had you not made the challenge. If anything befalls my brother, his blood will be on your hands. Talem, you are the only one among us capable of locating Montblanc and preventing disaster. On behalf of my brother, I beg your assistance. Yeah, I guess we got ourselves a little questy quest, which we're gonna do in the next part, because we did nothing but watch a shit ton of cutscenes, and you heard me stumble all over my mouth today, but yeah, now I get to stop recording this, and I have to continue editing a Kingath video tonight, and then I can go to bed, and hopefully this also will be edited and ready to go up by tomorrow. So yeah, have a great Friday, or whenever you're watching this, and we'll continue Return to Ivalice on Monday. See you later.